race fans, and welcome to the official NASCAR iRacing series presented by V8's Online. And welcome to the home of Five Wide Racing as we head to Fontana, California to Auto Club Speedway for tonight's NASCAR iRacing series race. It's going to be a fantastic night, and we want to let you know that tonight's broadcast, as always, is presented in glorious high definition and is brought to you by TrakRacer, SimInstruments, and the great GetDirtyMX.com. My name's JD Smith, and with me tonight is Kane Kraft to call all the action here. And Kane, we got a big show on our hands, and we're going to have to get going in a hurry, pal.
Yeah, running just a touch behind tonight, but we are ready to go and excited to be here at Fontana, or in Fontana rather, at Auto Club Speedway.
Yeah, a lot of cars getting ready for tonight for the 32-car field here in the top split tonight. It's going to be quite an exciting night of racing. I cannot get over last week and how amazing we had it, amazingly fun race we had at Bristol. Incredible night for a lot of drivers, but here we are moving on to Fontana, and you know, a lot of room tonight. When we talk about Fontana, one of the things we want to talk about here, Kane, is there's room. We got room to race. We're leaving, you know, the half-mile bull ring of Bristol and going to the wide open spaces, brother. 75 feet from apron to the high side wall in the turns and in the straightaway. You can fit 10 of these stock cars side by side in a row and still have room to pass somewhere. It's amazing when you think about it. We will see five wide racing tonight, buddy. You can bet about, I can't even talk, I'm so excited, buddy, but you can bet on that. We're going to see some incredibly fast racing tonight. Over 200 miles an hour is going to be the straightaway. I mean, it's just going to see it. The lowest you should see these guys tonight, Kane, is down in the 150s in mid-turn.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be exciting going from the action-packed race we had last week and the small little fast half mile though, of Bristol. And I still can't get over how great Bristol went last week. If we have as good of a race today as we had last week at Bristol, this series is just, it's getting better and better. So I can imagine that we are going to have just as good of a race here tonight.
Oh man, Fontana, always one of my favorite spots. We're only 60 miles east of Los Angeles, California, and about 150 miles north of San Diego. And man, this is just what a wonderful place this is, Fontana, California, for the Auto Club. For us, it's going to be the Auto Club 200 as we battle this track. It's going to be fantastic tonight. I can't wait to see who's going to be. We've already seen some of the drivers that are good with these tracks with a lot of room. This isn't a track where drivers have to settle for a high line or a low line. This is a track that gives drivers the opportunities to make their own moves, and that's what we're going to have here tonight. So this is a driver's track, definitely, and look for it to be humongous tonight. A lot of your big name drivers will be battling up front.
Speaking of the battle up front, let's take a look at the starting grid tonight.
Yeah, let's do that, Kane, as we look at the starting grid tonight. Got a lot of neat things going on around the house. I'm still loading up there, so tell us what we got, buddy.
Looks like we're going to have Adam Gilliland on the pole, Brandon Cattell and starting off in the second spot. Chad Lawton will be rolling off from the third spot. Brandon Hawk from fourth. Justin Bolton starting in the fifth place. Jared Crawford from sixth. Dylan Rafferty will be taking off from the seventh place position. Malik Ray going from eighth. Ray Alfala's racing tonight. He'll be taking off from the ninth spot. Timu Livinen will be going from the 10th position.
Man, I'm having deja vu from Daytona. We got Ray Alfala back out on the track. We have Adam Gilliland, your Daytona 500 winner, starting on the pole. Kane, this is an insanely awesome way to get Auto Club going. Similar, yes. It's not a super speedway technically. We won't be running restrictor plates here, but this is about as fast as you're going to get without them, buddy. This is going to be insane. Going back on the rest of that grid, you're also starting in 11th. We're going to have Billy Price, who had He's definitely been tough all season long. Thomas Davis starting 12th. In 13th, Matthew Moose. How about 14th, Steven Azzini, who's been outstanding so far this season. He's had his ups and downs, but overall, real good job by him. Behind him is going to be in the 15th spot will be Case Brinksma, Joe Quinn in 16th. Patrick Crabtree will be starting 17th. The number 1 machine of Tyler Hudson will be back in the 18th spot with Brandon Schmidt in 19th. Rounding out the top 20 will be the number 5 machine tonight of Jason Jacoby. Ryan Lowe will be in the 21st spot with 22nd going to Jordy Lopez Jr. Rob Ackley will be in the 23rd spot with 24th going to Peter Bennett. Dylan Duvall will be back in the 25th slot with Josh Berry there, starting in 26 spots. 27th will be Michael Johnson. Anthony Kernich, how about him? He's a fantastic road racer. He'll be joining us tonight and starting in the 28th spot. 29th will be Brad Davies with Chris Hall back in 30th. Jordan Worth will be 31st, and Casey Tucker will round out your 32-car field at Auto Club Speedway. Kane, this is it. The Fords, the Chevys are getting ready, and I'm telling you what, as we get ready to get this pace lap underway, you can't help. We've had some big news develop this week, and I have to go ahead and just kind of throw it out there. Looks like by the time we hit Daytona again, it's a big possibility we could have a new car in the manufacturer battle.
Yeah, that's what we're hearing. As that has been released that the Toyota is in production, and it's looking like we could get it for the next build. So just have to keep our fingers crossed and hope. But that is going to be super awesome having all 3 makes here in the NIS.
Boy, you can bet it right now. Adam Gilliland in the number 21 Chevrolet on his way in this fantastic pace lap. The guys are making their way around. It's time right now for the guys. You know, we talk a little bit about the track. This is a 2-mile oval-shaped racetrack. I mentioned earlier, 75 feet from apron to the wall, all the way around. There's plenty of room for these guys to move. Expect 3 wide to be the norm. We'll see 4 and 5 wide racing. The GMercer.com on the pole leads the field down the backstretch as they head into turn 3. We'll be heading green in just a moment. One thing to remember as the guys are getting ready is going to be fuel strategy today. It's going to be real interesting. Have a lot of engine problems, so we're going to have to be careful with the temperatures today. Anytime you run the engine this hot, you got to be careful not to blow that motor.
Fortunately enough, JD, the temperatures today are actually kind of cool. I'm showing that the air temperature is 65 degrees.
We're going green.
Green. Everything's rolling good. We're not checking up at all.
Fantastic start out there by Adam Gilliland. In the front, we got side-by-side racing right now in the top 3. It's 3 wide racing going into the second turn here at Fontana. As we head down the backstretch, we have cars fighting for position. Chad Lawton in the number 6 machine follows behind Brandon Cattell in second place. Riding on the outside of him right now is going to be the 11 car Brandon Hawk. Brandon Hawk tries to find position at the moment. He's riding in the 4th spot, tries to get up into the 3rd spot, still side by side. He will advance over number 6 car Chad Lawton. Great move on the outside by Brandon Hawk of the Chevy, a number 11. Also side by side at the moment is the number 16 machine of Malik Ray. To his outside is going to be Jared Crawford in the Samsung number 3 machine. It is a big time battle right here between these guys. We've seen Jared Crawford do fantastic all year long. On his outside right now, just falling into position is the 14 of Dylan Rafferty. Fantastic racing. Kane, go back to that important weather update you were telling us about, buddies. We got green and I got excited.
Oh, that's all right. I just letting you know that it's only 65 degrees out here at Fontana today. So that's going to help a little bit. Track temperature's only in the 70s, so I definitely think that will help on some horsepower, and I think it will help on some temperatures.
Oh, definitely, man. I just am looking, and we got some just stellar racing already up here. Side-by-side action again. Ray Alfalla on the move in the number 2. Ford Fusion just makes his way around Thomas Davis there in the number 17 machine. And great move. He also moved up another position as he passes Dylan Rafferty. He's up to 8th. He moved up one position, but he actually hit 2 spots there on one turn, so that's definitely good for him. Right now we have a new leader out front. It is Brandon Cattell in the number 24 machine. Side-by-side race for the second spot. It's going to be the number 11 of Brandon Hogg, who moves into second place, and it's going to be Adam Gilliland, who is up on the high side, stuck outside. Right now, Adam Gilliland battling for position at the moment. He is stuck out on the high line now. It's going to be fun to see. There's a lot of different groups here at Auto Club International. And I'm telling you what, this is the newest track on the iRacing simulator, and this thing is dead on. The NASCAR guys have given feedback, and they say this track is unbelievably accurate. So look for today's race to be amazing. We're going to see also another car on the move right now, Jared Crawford in the number 3 Samsung Chevrolet. He just moved up in front of pole sitter and now is on his way towards the front. He just got in front of Adam Gilliland. Last lap he was in the 7th spot. He's already moved up a few spots here. He's all the way on the back of Malik Gray at the moment. And this is big for Jared Crawford. He's up in the 6th position.
Further in the back, we got Tyler Hudson making his way up through the field, just now getting around Steve Zini for that 12th position.
Yeah, Kane, I was noticing Tyler Hudson did not have a qualifying time, which sends out a message to me that he did not, that he didn't get a chance to qualify. And that doesn't mean he didn't have a chance to practice. I'm sure he has plenty of practice here at this track. But just based off of his points in iRating, he was put all the way to start in the 18th spot, which is, we had 17 cars that put down a qualifying time, and I will let you know that cars 1 through 18 were all within a second of each other. That's how tight the racing is going to be here today.
Also got Jordy Lopez Jr. back in the 16th spot, also making his way up through the field tonight. Case Brinkma back in the 25th. Lots of drivers that we've seen do some great things this season, starting kind of far back tonight at California.
Man, I tell you what, Case Brinkma, that's another one. But Jordy Lopez Jr., this guy has just had a phenomenal season so far. He's one of those drivers that is just got to be looking to get a win here soon. It can't be real far away. So look for that to be coming our way soon. Ray Alfalla looks to the inside of the number 3 machine of Jared Crawford. He goes down on the inside. He will be pushed by Malik Gray. And he will make a successful pass there down on the inside. Another position for Ray Alfalla. Ooh, close moment down on the inside in front of Ray Alfalla. Justin Bolton has to dodge down. Or excuse me, not Justin Bolton. I apologize about that. That is the number 24 machine, and I'm trying to see what's going on there. That is definitely... Let me see what's going on there. That's definitely odd right there. Justin Bolton is behind him. I mean, it's in front of him. It's on the high side. Who is in the 24? That's Brandon Cattell in the 24 car, guys. I apologize.
We're looking a little dicey there at the number 24, Brandon Cattell.
Yeah, he was. That's exactly what I was looking at. And man, it's again just like you said. Whoa, wait a minute. Pace car is out. We have a caution. The first caution of the afternoon is out right now. Kane, do we have anything on what happened?
I didn't get to see what happened.
Let's see here. It looks like I'm seeing some chat saying somebody went around, but I can't tell who. We'll get as soon as we have an update on that, we will find out. I had to been near the back of the field, Kane. Boy, I tell you what, Casey Tucker is you know, he started back in the 30th position. He's up to 25th. Well, at the moment, I don't see any problems from anybody on the track. I think we might have had a spin around, but I think everything's okay.
I do see Adam Gilliland's back in the 26th position.
Yeah, I think something happened maybe with the 24 machine and Adam Gilliland, I'm guessing. Well, we have cars in the pits everywhere, guys coming in for fresh tires. Tires will be very important today. The grip here is extremely important to get speed through these corners. There's not a lot of banking here. You're looking at about 14 to 18 degrees of banking progressively throughout the track. You got to be careful. Big races off of pit road right now, 3 and 4 wide in certain spots, fighting for position. And as the guys leave pit road, we will have a new leader here, as things are. It will be Chad Lawton who will be leading the pace car, or following the pace car.
Let's take a look at the gains and losses while we're under yellow here and see who's had the biggest moves up through the field tonight. Looks like Jordy Lopez Jr. sitting back in the 14th. He's gained 8 positions so far. We got Tyler Hudson just made his way up to 9th with a 9 position gain. Ray Afala's up into 3rd with a 6 position gain. So far we do have some good movers coming up through the field. Tyler Hudson starting at the back, but up into the top 10 so far.
Yeah, Kane, it is. We've had some good movers already. I tell you what, Ray Alfala, we haven't seen him in several weeks, but he has brought his A game here to Fontana. He is on fire right now. He's all the way up into the 2nd position, of course. Brandon Hawk is going to be your leader. I apologize. I did say it was Chad Lawton, and I was wrong, because once we re-racked them, those positions did change. And after the caution, it will look like this in the top 10. Brandon Hawk with Ray Alfalo in 2nd place. In 3rd will be Justin Bolton. 4th will be Chad Lawton. 5th will be Malik Ray with Dylan Rafferty in 6th. Starting 7th will be Tyler Hudson. How about him? Moving all the way up. Thomas David 8th, Billy Price 9th, and in the final 10th spot, Timu Livinen. That's how the top 10 will ride out of this. And this is incredible. After our first caution of the day, we're about to have our first restart of the day, Kane, and his restarts are very important here. You can gain a lot of time off the restarts here.
Yeah, I'm anxious for the restart and get the field bunched back up again and give everybody a fresh shot to get going here. It's definitely some drivers that needed the restart to get kind of a fresh start, so we're 2 by 2 getting ready to take off. Pace car darts down and we're getting ready to go green.
Absolutely, buddy. Here we go, green, green, green again, and here let's make sure it's very tough. Who's going to get the big jumps?
Dylan Rafferty in the 14 car on the outside looking to make his way around Malik Ray. Stuck on the outside's just not working so good for Dylan right now. He's not been able to catch up to Malik and has now got the 17 car of Thomas and Davis to the inside, looking to get around him.
Tell you what, right now the battle for the lead is really fun with Ray Alfala trying to chase down Brandon Hawk in the number 11 machine. You got a Ford Fusion right now, and Ray Alfala, he's trying really hard to use this draft on the backstretch. Does a fantastic job of staying up with him, because Hawk had an incredible jump off that restart, and here Ray Alfala comes. And back there in third, we have another little gathering as Justin Bolton and Chad Lawton join up together here and have a little fun together as they battle for the third spot. Already just, man, already, tough break right there. I'm trying to see what happened. I saw the pace car come out, and here we go again. So the second caution flag waves here, guys, at Auto Club International Speedway, and the pace car is out.
Bring up the race call replay. Let's take a look at Josh Berry. Oh yeah, we got a big wreck back there with the number 12 car.
Yeah, it happened in turn 4, it looked like, Kane. Coming out of turn 4, excuse me, that's a big one.
Yeah, Peter Bennett was in it, and several drivers were in it. Let's take the race recall replay back again and have a look.
Yeah, you can see where the initial contact happened, Kane. Peter Bennett, unfortunately, in the number 12 car, gets a little contact from the number 20. If you look closely, the number 25 machine is going to be where the initial contact happens. Is the 12 car is riding up on the high side. The 25 car comes up into him, and that's all she wrote. It puts the 12 car, Peter Bennett, in the wall. It makes contact, comes down into the number 13 machine, and that's where it all just breaks in. It's like the domino effect after that. Wow, big wreck right there. Tough break for a lot of guys in the back of the field, some of which we're going to have, possibly some good cars back there, and hopefully they'll be able to get those things picked back up and they can get back on their A game. I mean, here, Peter Bennett's crabbing it around the track really bad right now. That car is driving sideways to the pits. Well, let's see what happens with some of the guys up in the front of the field. How does this change their strategy, Kane? They just came in for pits, and track position at the moment has got to be a little bit more important than a little extra fuel. I don't see a tire advantage for those that would go back in. I mean, I think we'll see at least the top 10 stay out. I could be wrong, though. Grip is huge here.
I don't think we'll see any takers, like you say, at least through the top 10. There may be some further to the back that don't have a whole lot to lose that may want to take that risk, but we only got just a few laps in on that one. I don't think we'll see very many takers.
No, just a few here and there in the back of the field coming down pit road. Obviously, your wrecked people, Peter Bennett's in there. Josh Berry, unfortunately, was in that. I hate to see Josh Berry get involved in that as well. Tough break for him. Another one, Anthony Kernich, Chris Hall, Jordan Worth, another one. I hate to see involved in that one as well. Quick stop for Jordan Worth, though, and Anthony Kernich still in there, but a quick stop for both Jordan Worth and Chris Hall, there, as they're both on their way out of pit box. So I think those two cars are going to be just fine. They just had minor repairs.
Brendan Davies making his way around the track. You think he might have been the lucky dog? Is that why he's making his way all the way around the track?
Yeah, I think so, Kane. I didn't know we had a car a lap down yet at the time of the caution, but we may have. And so if that's the case, he is back on the lead lap, and that's our first Get Dirty MX lucky dog of the day. Boy, so some action-packed racing, Kane. So far, we've already had 2 cautions here, only on lap 17 here. And some fantastic racing so far, but it gets a little out of hand in the back of the field a little early. Nothing to worry about to this point. We've seen this happen before where we've had early cautions and the guys settle down and hit a long green run. But you got a lot of guys that maybe haven't had the start to the season the way they have wanted to. And, you know, here we are, Kane, and, you know, a few weeks into the season, and they want it. It's time to go. They want to get up there real frustrated maybe and trying to make some moves it's a little too early for, and that's what happens. So unfortunate. A lot of the guys involved that are just bystanders of others, you know, that's very sad, but it's part of racing, and unfortunately we'll move on. You know, it's a 100-lap race, a 200-mile race, and we're only, you know, not just now going to hit close to 20 laps in this race, and already 2 cautions. So gonna have to calm it down, but we're racing. Let's do it.
Tyler Hudson making his way through the field now. Last couple laps, he's really been working hard to catch up to the 14 and 17 car ahead of him there and reel him in so he can make some positions.
Yeah, I'm telling you what, Tyler Hudson's back in the Peak Ford Fusion, and you know, it's awesome that Peak is sponsoring the NASCAR Pro Series Championship, the NASCAR iRacing Championship World Series, or I can't even say it anymore now that they've added Peak. It's such a long name, but they're calling it the Peak Antifreeze Championship.
We have got another caution.
And another one. Well, guys, it's tempers will start to flare if this were to keep up. It's a lot of room out there. This is, you know, let me go back and say this. This is the first official NASCAR iRacing Series race on this track ever. So we had no idea what to expect tonight, and neither did the drivers. And usually this is a track where there's long green runs. I don't know. And, you know, it's going to straighten up here shortly. We just got some real aggression going on. And, you know, I don't think it's anything intentional. It's just trying to find room. I mentioned before, you can get 4 and 5 wide here, but if the car's loose and somebody has a setup that's an over-aggressive setup, maybe a little too loose, Kane, and, you know, like you mentioned the weather earlier, if they were testing on different conditions and they come out here expecting the car to run like practice and it runs different, that's a big, big, big difference, and they lose it, they get loose, and it's all over. Well, a lot of cars in the tail end of the field. Everybody in the back of the field will go into the pits here to freshen up. Watch Patrick Crabtree, Brandon Schmidt, Timu Livinen, even Steven Azzini, Jason Crawford in the number 3 Samsung Chevrolet in his pit box right now. And getting right sides at the moment. We'll see if they get left sides too. Yep, he'll be getting rights and lefts on the Samsung Chevy. And there goes Tyler Hudson for the race off of pit road. And Tyler Hudson will win the race, followed by the number 3 car, Jason Crawford. Then how about this? How about the number 30 Fastenal Fusion of... uh-oh, don't let me say it wrong, Mr. He won the Daytona Shootout. Our good friend,
Casey Tucker?
Oh, yes, Casey Tucker. Man, I seen it and couldn't even say it. But yeah, Casey Tucker, big move for him in the pits there. Fantastic. Another great pit right there by Steven Azzini in the Scrabble Chevy SS. Beautiful job by him as well. The 4 machine follows of Brandon Schmidt. So some good pit strategy for those that went in. Ray Alfala is the lead car right now, followed by Brandon Hawk and Chad Lawton. Justin Bolton up there in the 4th position, and Malik Ray in 5th. Tell you what, Kane, a driver I saw back early in the field started all the way near the back early today, and I'm trying to see where he's at, and he has moved way up through this field. That's Jordy Lopez Jr., and man, Jordy is all the way up to 9th position, 1 spot above Tyler Hudson to round out the top 10, and I tell you what, that's awesome.
Yeah, Jordy's definitely had a great season. He's been in it to win it, and I think at every race he's really really been in contention for a podium or a top 5 in all the races so far. He's really worked hard each and every race to be in a good position.
Yeah, I agree with that very much, buddy. And right now, you know, we just got to get out there and get some green laps under our belt. We got a lot of guys that are with this stopping and going and these cautions like this. It's going to take a little while for everybody to find that groove. You know, you come into these races, Kane, you got to have the mental focus, you know, for long green flag runs, because that's what this season has been, is long green flag runs, buddy. And you come in here like we're seeing tonight and get these quick cautions, it can take the focus out of these drivers up front. All the drivers in that matter. So you really have to, that's one of the hardest things, is even under these cautions to save that intensity and that focus and be able to keep it through all this stopping.
Yeah, earlier you had mentioned Tyler Hudson's peak antifreeze livery, and that's when I noticed that his car was yellow on my screen. So I did a refresh on all the car skin. So I do want to apologize to anybody who, through these first few laps here, haven't had your right car skin on your body. But sometimes Trading Paints does that. It takes it a minute to reload once I get into a server. But I've got her all fixed now. Everybody's cars are looking sharp.
Yes, sir. And the pace car leads us down across the start-finish line. It looks like we'll be 1 to go, Kane, and get back to racing here. It looks like we'll be starting back green on lap 24.
One of the sharp cars you'd mentioned earlier was the Samsung machine, the number 3 Samsung machine of Jared Crawford. And that car is looking sharp. Still no damage on it, still looking pretty clean, so he's up in the 13th position. Hopefully we'll see some moves by him to get a little further up in the field. We got Tyler Hudson also right there in front of him, who will also be looking to make his way up through the field.
Well, Kane, remember now, Jared Crawford just went in and got 4 fresh tires put on the Samsung Chevrolet. Also right there, also is Casey Tucker and Steven Azzini. We'll keep an eye on those drivers. Those were where the pit stops were. And all the cars in front, the top 12 in front of them all have older tires. Now, not that old, but still a little bit older. It's going to be real interesting to see if those fresh tires have that much of an advantage to make it up for these guys, because Jared Crawford was running up in right up in the top 5 earlier. All right, here we go, coming around turns 3 and now 4. We'll be looking as the pace car heads down pit road. Hopefully we'll be going green in just a second here. And right now, looking at Ray Alfalla to lead the field to green. The pace car is in the third restart, the third restart of the race. Ray Alfalla with a great jump down low and down on the inside. He will lead the field here to start lap 24 of 100. Brandon Hawk, beautiful move to come down across the number 6 car of Chad Lawton. Justin Bolton tucks in right behind Chad. Malik Ray back there in the 5th position. Fighting now for the 6th spot, and right behind them too is Dylan Rafferty and Thomas Davis. The number 17 Amp Energy car down on the inside will pass the number 14 machine and move up into the 6th spot, passing Dylan Rafferty. And a few cars back, Billy Price tries to make his move up into the 8th position and successfully will get there. He's racing hard to the line. The 29 car is racing right down there. Also, Jordy Lopez Jr. in the mix, 2 wide now with the number 20 machine.
Yeah, Michael Johnson working hard to get his way up the field as well. See him trying to get his way around the 29 car of Billy Price. He did get through successfully. Now we've got the number 3 trying to get underneath the Price there in the 29 car.
Yeah, beautiful job there as he does successfully pass Billy Price there in the number 29 Outlaw Chevrolet. And the Samsung Chevy is on the move. We talked about the fresh tires. Would it have an advantage? And that's why I'm trying to keep a close eye on Jared Crawford to see how this pays off for him. He's already made up 2 positions, Kane. Side-by-side racing again right now. Dylan Rafferty well, it was at the moment side-by-side, but was passed again by Thomas Davis in that number 17. Jordy Lopez Jr. in the 9 car is right behind in the Ford Fusion, in the Elwood Designs Ford Fusion. And here he goes down on the inside, possibly to make a move. And he has Jared Crawford down there with him. Everybody goes down to the bottom lane with him. Boy, it's hard to go anywhere. Here he is. Here comes the number 3 Samsung machine down on the inside. Gets past one position. Can he move up another? He's right there with Jordy Lopez Jr. at the moment, Kane. And Jared Crawford has moved up into the 9th spot, passing Michael Johnson. And a big move there for the number 3.
Thought for a minute that Billy Price might get a little ambitious and try to get around Michael Johnson there, but he took back in line and is just going to stay back there and be safe.
And nothing wrong with that. We have finally had about 3 laps now, or 4. We're starting our 4th lap of green runs, and Jordy Lopez Jr. and Jared Crawford are tucked in safely in line. I thought we were going to tuck out for a minute. Here comes, look at the number 1 peak Ford Fusion of Tyler Hudson making his move. Here comes Jordy Lopez Jr. on the inside of Jared Crawford, and he will not get enough of a jump. And here comes Tyler Hudson.
Yeah, Tyler's making his way up through the field. He'll be on the bumper of Jordy Lopez Jr. here before long, but he's not going to go to the bumper. He's going to go to the inside. Well, but Jordy cuts back down, gets in front of him, so maybe we'll see the 2 of those guys work together to get their way through the field.
Yeah, right now, beautiful job as they're going just above that first groove down there at the bottom of the track right before you get to the apron. Beautiful job by both the number 1 Peak Ford Fusion and the Elwood Designs Fusion. They're trying to get past that strong number 14 car of Dylan Rafferty. And I tell you what, Dylan Rafferty has had a pretty good race. He stayed up at the top this entire time. And I know we haven't had a lot of green runs yet, but I'll tell you what, this is definitely a strong number 14 machine.
Yeah, Dylan's really done a good job this season as well. He's really been one of those drivers that has been competing for those top spots each and every race. He has had some bad luck that's caught him, but still, each and every race we have been mentioning his name as he's been right in contention for positions.
Man, beautiful racing all around by these guys. Telling you what, they really are doing a good job out here. It's 5 wide racing, like
Jared
you said.
Crawford looking to make his way around another car there, around the 17 of Thomas Davis. He does get the position. Sorry to interrupt you, buddy.
No, that's all right. Thomas Davis trying to be on the move around the number 14. He's got the advantage at the moment. He is ahead of him and will successfully make the pass. Thomas Davis up into the 6th spot.
Well, look who's coming. Tyler Hudson is now made his way around the number 14 at Dylan Rafferty and is going to be putting pressure on the 17 of Thomas Davis before too long.
Yeah, this is awesome when you have the number 1 Ford Fusion, Peak Ford Fusion coming up, and defending champion Tyler Hudson making his way up here and just starting.
We've got a caution flag.
And another yellow comes out, so re-rack them. And Chad Lawton was the leader as the caution flag waves, and looking quick for a Get Dirty MX lucky dog, and we don't have one. As Jason Jacoby is the last car that is on the lead lap. The next car is actually off the track. It is the 13 machine of Dylan Duvall, who is in the garage area. Yeah, unfortunately, Josh Berry is out of the race. Peter Bennett and Dylan Duvall, all 3 have packed up and they're moving on to next week, buddy. I hate to see that for those guys. That was very unfortunate. But let's see what happened with this caution. I can't quite see what happened there.
Well, I haven't seen quite yet what happened. I've taken the replay back just looking for crashes. And it looks like the 21 car of Alan Gilliland gets a little loose, gets into the 24 car of Brandon Cattell, and That's where the trouble starts. Brandon Cattell has a heck of a spin there, and Adam was able to save his out of control car, but Brandon Cattell has a heck of a spin.
Tough break right there, and that'll bring out the 4th caution here of the afternoon.
Lucky for Brandon, he didn't hit a single thing. He spun around about 6 times but made no contact. So some fresh tires and he'll be back in this thing.
Oh man, yeah. What happened was the 24 car, the 24 and the 21 got into contact, got into each other. That's what started the whole thing there. The gmercer.com 21 machine of Adam Gilliland comes down into the number 24 machine. Very tough break. That was real rough. I just saw that. Wow. Man, they went across the infield grass there for a second. And then you see the 24 car going up. There's a lot of cars that were able to miss that wreck. Good driving by several of the cars. Ryan Lowe able to miss that. Good driving by the number 8 machine.
Yeah, that's good too, because Ryan Lowe's had some pretty bad luck so far this race. It's good to see him get through that one with no problem. The race off pit road looks like Chad Lawton's going to be the beneficiary.
Yeah, it's good for Chad Lawton there. He's trying to get up here. He's already made his way up into the top, top spot there, Kane. And it's tough to get up there in P1, man. And when you're up in that lead position, you want to hold on to it as long as you can. But these guys that have been up at the top so far have literally been up there all day. When you talk about Brandon Hawk, Ray Alfala, Justin Bolton, Malik Ray, Jared Crawford. If we remember back to the last caution, our 3rd caution, we looked at the number 3 car of Jared Crawford, who stopped and got all 4 tires and topped off with fuel. He restarted in the 12th spot just in the short span from lap 24 is where we went green to now lap 32 when the caution officially came out. The number 3 machine in the Samsung Chevrolet moved up 6 positions. He now runs in 6th position. How about that, Kane?
Yeah, he definitely has the speed, as was obvious through that stint, as he was definitely making his way around car after car. So
all right, keep your eye on pit road. Sorry to interrupt, but everybody going down pit road here. Even leader Chad Lawton leads the entire field down. Let's watch this. This is going to be a huge race off of. Uh-oh. Yeah, I got stuck off alive. Sorry, buddy. Well, anyways, yeah, good job there behind
that was a good race off the pit road there. That Chad Lawton did end up winning that race off pit road, but
yeah, he did. I was watching it behind the rest of everybody. It was good. I was watching the replay, and
yeah, I've done that so many times. Sometimes you just forget to click to go back live and get to see the action a little bit behind.
Yeah. Well, it's good stuff, though. I tell you what, man, we've got I'm going to say it right now. 4th caution of the day here, lap 35. And I tell you what, Kane, the green flag run, I thought we were going to have it right there, but here it comes. We're going to have a long green run here, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm feeling a long green flag run coming, because all these cautions, these drivers have got to be tired of all these caution laps. So I think we'll see everybody settle down and really focus, and I think we're going to see a good stint here.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And as we look at it from the 32-car field, 29 cars on the lead lap here on lap 36 of 100 laps. So Chad Lawton leads the field. 2nd is Justin Bolton. 3rd, Brandon Hawk. Ray Alfala back in 4th with Malik Ray in 5th. Jared Crawford in the 6th spot with Thomas Davis riding in 7th. 8th, Dylan Rafferty. Tyler Hudson 9th. 10th is Steven Azzini. Jordy Lopez Jr. in 11th. 12th, Brandon Schmidt with Casey Tucker in 13th. Billy Price 14th. and Timu Livinen in 15th. 16th, Michael Johnson. Rob Ackley is in the 17th position. And in 18th, Patrick Crabtree. Ryan Lowe currently runs in the 19th spot with Case Brinksma in 20th. Joe Quinn, 21st. Matthew Moose, 22nd. 23rd, Brad Davies. 24th belongs to Chris Hall. Adam Gilliland, our pole sitter, is back all the way in 25th. 26th, Brandon Cattell and Jason Jacoby, 27th. 28th, Jordan Worth. Anthony Kernich is in 29th. Of course, those are all the cars on the lead lap. And we should be going green this time by cars entering the final turns 3 and 4. We'll be keeping our eye on the pace car as it'll be heading down for pit road, and we'll be back green as Chad Lawton will be leading us to the green flag. And here we go as the pit car down. We're green. Jump right now by Chad Lawton. Down on the apron, the 11 car of Brandon Hawk tries to use the flattened apron road as a boost. It kind of helps a little bit as he tries to get around Justin Bolton in the second position. The Best Western Chevrolet does a fantastic job to hold second, and he is not that far, about 3 car lengths behind leader Chad Lawton. This will be a fun race.
Yeah, that little move that Brandon Hawk did going down on the apron, I don't know if it gained him anything, but it definitely caused Ray Afala to have to back off and put a little bit of a gap there between he and Ray Afala, but Ray is back on the pace and is now looking to make the move to get around Brandon Hawk.
Yeah, it's such a unique move, and it can be really beneficial, Kane, and sometimes it can also hurt you. So it's fun to see how that works out for these guys.
Malik Ray now on the bumper of Brandon Hawk, looking like he's going to want to make a move here before long, but the number 3 of Jared Crawford is looking like he wants that spot as well. Tyler Hudson to the inside of the 14 car of Dylan Rafferty, with Jordy Lopez Jr. right on the bumper of Tyler Hudson.
Man, fantastic racing all the way around.
When we're green here and we got racing going, it is some good racing.
That's it, yeah, that's it. When we're green, we got some killer racing, some of the best. And tell you what, man, watching this number 2 and 11, Brandon Hawk, Ray Alfala, Justin Bolton. Justin Bolton needs to beware, and I tell you what, Chad Lawton right now has to kind of worry himself with the Viper SR Chevrolet. He's leading the race right now, but here comes the Best Western Chevy. That number 7 is coming up. How about Justin Bolton?
Justin Bolton's had a couple really good races here at the start of the season. There's been a couple times when he's really been in a position to win.
Absolutely, buddy. He has really performed well so far this season. Here, Ray Alfala really putting on the pressure. We've got 3 cars fighting for that second position at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised to see Brandon Hawk try to make a move with Ray Alfala if Ray Alfala were to break off and try to make a move. Yep, here comes Brandon Hawk. Looks like he's going to try to get down on the inside if he can help get a push. Here comes Malik Ray into the picture as well. And the JDR graphic machine is on its way as well. Malik Ray has had a big up and down. He's been up at the top on certain races and been at the back at others. But he's definitely been fast all season long. And here comes Jared Crawford around Malik Ray. And look at this. Here comes the Samsung number 3 Chevy. Side by side right now,
with
Brandon.
the number 3 car of Jared Crawford as he is looking to make his way up through this field.
Yeah, if you go on board with that number 3 machine right now, beautiful view right now as you look ahead to Brandon Hawk ahead, heading down the back straightaway here, and side-by-side action as we try to go around Ray Alfala here. And you see how they get right on the bumper using every bit of draft down this back stretch, over 200 mile an hour, folks, into a low-banked turn 3 and 4. lot of space on exit here. You can really get to the accelerator fast here. Lots of grip on fresh tires. And down on the inside right now, across the start-finish line, almost gets enough room to get around Ray, but he has to tuck him behind him. Beautiful driving here through turns 1 and 2. And as we go down this back stretch again, watch closely as we try to gain all the draft we can off of Ray Alfalla here in the Sim Special Ford Fusion. He should try to get up on the heights. He's going to try to stay with him. He just know where to go. Ray Alfalla is doing a beautiful job of holding position. Beautiful job there, buddy. And as we look back, Tyler Hudson comes up into the picture as he's right there behind Malik Ray. Tell you what, this top 10 is really starting to shape up. Jorge Lopez Jr. back in the 10th spot, and he's got Brandon Schmidt fighting to come up into the top 10. He goes down on the apron trying to make some advantage and doesn't get around Jorge Lopez. Jordy's hanging back there. Then that number 14 machine of Dylan Rafferty. Ahead of him is going to be the number 8 of Thomas Davis, who's been strong on the inside as well, trying to, and now I'll tell you what, Ray's got to be careful out there on that outside.
Yeah, he does. He's luckily able to get back in front of Malik Ray there and get back into a position to protect his line. But being shuffled to the outside there is definitely bad news.
Yeah, it is. It's not where you want to be. If you get stuck out there, it's hard to get back in now. You know, some of these tracks, you think later in the race, the outside, for some reason, is where you want to be. It varies from race to race, and that's one of the crazy things is you just never know what it's going to be like. You have to kind of feel the track and test it. And you can do a lot of testing here. That's one of the good things about this racetrack. There's plenty of room to test different areas. Checking in on pole sitter Adam Gilliland in the gmercer.com car. He's all the way back in the 24th, or excuse me, the 21 car's back in the 24th position, being followed by the being followed by the 24 car. Brandon Cattell rides back in 25th. Those two battle for position.
Brandon Davies with a little scare there as he gets a little loose coming out of the turn, but he's managed to collect it all back up and get back on the track.
And that was a scary moment, I'll tell you what. I mean, how about Anthony Kernich? Definitely good to see Anthony Kernich out here in the Lowe's Chevrolet. We've seen him race in the Proto GT Series and do numerous road racing, so glad to have Anthony Kernich here in the top split.
Yeah, I love seeing drivers that I'm used to seeing in the whoa, and we've got the 25 car loose again off that turn.
Man, what is going on there? That's Brad Davies, guys. And tell you what, Brad Davies not having quite as well of a week as he has in weeks past. Scary moment again for him.
He's definitely fighting a very loose car coming off that turn, but so far he's had a couple great saves, but I'm sure he's pretty anxious for a pit stop to maybe make some adjustments on that car.
Go up to to Ray Alfalla and Tyler Hudson battling at the moment. These two back and forth, really putting on a show for us. Jared Crawford passed both of them. And here comes Justin Bolton and also the 17 machine of Thomas Davis in the Amp Energy Chevrolet. Beautiful job by these guys right now. Fantastic racing.
Tyler Hudson has just put on one heck of a show tonight, making his way all the way up into the 4th position now.
Oh, here comes Justin Bolton down on the inside of Ray Alfalla. He's going to try to make a position move on him as Justin Bolton in the Best Western Chevy tries to move up into the top 5. He's going to get it, Kane. He has the potential momentum boost and gets around. Here comes the 17 as well. Oh man, Malik Ray is coming around as well, Kane, and this is not good for Ray Alfala in the number 2 Ford Fusion. He finally gets back on rhythm here and is riding neck and neck with Malik Ray. He pulls back in front. Now he's going back up in front of the 17.
Yeah, being shuffled out there got Ray a little off momentum, but yeah, some close racing there.
How do you do that? This guy literally comes in here, loses 3 positions, and it looks like he's doomed to fall at least 3 or 4, and then is somehow on the high side, finds speed, ducks across the front of the driver, and pulls back up 2. Wow.
Now it looks like he's got a little loose there coming off the turn and taking a little wide. It looks like the 17 might try to come back underneath him again.
Yeah, he does a beautiful job going into the turn and definitely has Ray beat for the moment. We'll see what kind of, if Ray was able to get on the accelerator fast on turn in the middle of the turn and he wasn't, that's how you see right there Thomas Davis doing a beautiful pass right there. Definitely a fantastic maneuver by Thomas Davis to move into the 6th position.
You know what, I think we're seeing that Ray Alfala's also having a very loose car, a lot like the 25 car, Brandon Davies. Looks like Ray is really fighting that car.
I tell you what, Kane, it looks like we're having a lot of guys with some setup issues. Looks like they may have, like I said, you talked about the weather being a lot cooler, and maybe I'm telling you in practice things had to be warmer.
Hate to interrupt, but we just had a lead change as Brandon Hawk makes his way around Chad Lawton. But,
and here comes Chad Lawton back again, side-by-side racing here, going down towards the start-finish line. And Chad Lawton goes down to the bottom side and tries to make the pass. Going into turn 1, beautiful jump into turn 1, side-by-side racing at the moment. Very, very close. Chad Lawton in the number 6 Viper SR Chevrolet will try to get the advantage. And here comes the number 3 car to try to come into the mix. This is white knuckle racing right here, Kane. Side by side through an entire lap. And here we are coming through turns 3 and 4. 11 car will have to submit. Chad Lawton back out in the lead. And now on the inside, here comes Jared Crawford.
Tyler Hudson took the extra low line trying to make up a little extra time, but didn't seem to make much gain from it. But Jared Crawford and the 11 car of Brandon Hawk having a heck of a race now.
Brandon Hawk hits the wall. We got a caution. There goes Jared Crawford and Tyler Hudson make contact. We're going to need a big race call read. Big trouble for Tyler Hudson and Brandon Hawk. Also Jared Crawford. Yeah, I think Jared is okay. He just got bumped down. I think he's going to be okay. But big trouble for the 11 car and Tyler Hudson in the 1 car. The 5th caution of the afternoon is out.
As we go to a race recall replay.
Boy, that's not good right there, buddy. I hate to see that. Well, guys, this is what happened as we watch Brandon Hawk. Don't know if he just got loose, Kane. I don't know if it was him getting loose or if anything caused him to. I don't think there was any contact except for him hitting the wall. I think he just got up into the wall.
Yeah, that's it. Brandon Hawk got into the wall, bounced off the wall, got into Jared Crawford, and which caused Tyler Hudson to get around there. Now, I do think that all the cars have pretty minimal damage.
I think they're all okay. Let's watch on. Let's see if we can watch on board from Tyler Hudson, because I want you to see what Tyler Hudson was seeing right here. That was insanely crazy right there. If you look on at the from the peak onboard camera there, as you're going through there, that was incredible. He misses Jordan Crawford, but then nowhere to go as the 11 gets into him, and then he does a fantastic job of saving the car from going into the wall, or worse, back onto the road, back into traffic. Wow.
He's definitely got some damage there as he's really having to fight that wheel to keep the car going straight, but
yeah, hopefully he will be able to rebound. Now, I hate to see, we never want to see anybody get in, accident and end a race day early, but we just went halfway in this race. We got caught up in that green flag run there. And the biggest winners in that situation are going to be Ray Alfala, Thomas Davis, Justin Bolton, and Chad Lawton. These guys up here in the top 4 have been up there all day. Brandon Schmidt now moves up several spots as the number 4 machine finds his way in the top 5 now.
Brandon Schmidt's gained 14 positions in this race to make his way up to the fifth place.
Man, the Peak Appliance Chevrolet of Brandon Schmidt. How about that? Congratulations to him. And then Malik Ray in the JDR Graphics Chevy up there in the 6th spot. And, of course, the 14 machine of Dylan Rafferty and the Rafferty Designs Ford Fusion. And then back there in the Elwood Designs Ford Fusion, Jordy Lopez Jr. And how about Billy Price found his way back in the top 10 in the Outlaw Chevy, man?
Yeah, that's definitely good news for Billy Price, as he's having a pretty good race tonight.
Yeah, he is. He's been up, he's been down, and then back up. And then we got guys going down pit road now at the moment. But I've been looking at this, the Raptor SVT Ford Fusion of Patrick Crabtree. Now, Patrick's had several different good races so far this season. He started in the 17th position, and he's in 15th at the moment. Now, he was farther back earlier, but now is starting to move his way back towards the front at the moment. But I'm telling you what, I've been proud to death of this number 17 Amp Energy Thomas Davis. He has put on a really good race so far for us. He has just been consistently up at the front, and that's what you got to do here. We're only halfway through this race. We're a little over halfway now. This track obviously is about track position. You got to get up at the front and stay up there. And when we've seen this top 4 run up there all day, Ray Alfala, Thomas Davis, Justin Bolton, and leader Chad Lawton, these guys have been up there all afternoon, and that's where you got to be in this race. Obviously, you got to be careful for incidents like we just saw, Kane. But if you can stay up in this top 4 to 5 all afternoon, you're going to be putting yourself in the right position at the right time.
Even with all the action we've had today as far as cautions and everything, still no lucky dog, as the only cars that are laps down are out of the race.
Yeah, and this, a lot of that has to do with the high speed of this track and the fact that it's a 2-mile racetrack. We haven't had just a long enough. It's going to take green flag stops for us to get racers to go a lap down, besides a wreck or something of that nature. For somebody to get lapped, let's say that, and and I think that we were really close to doing that this past time. That was a nice green run there, and I think that hopefully we will, because I love to see green flag stops. They make a huge difference in the race. I mean, everybody can pit under caution. It's those that can pit under green at a speedway like this. That's so fun to watch.
And the drivers have had that at all the tracks so far. They've had to contend with green flag pit stops. This is the first one so far where the cautions have fallen to where they've been able to use cautions for their pit stops each and every time so far.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good point, Kane. Very valid point. If you've been betting on cautions all year long, you've been out of luck, except for today. And as guys start to make their strategies for the end of the race, do you plan on a late caution, or do you think that you can hold out and try to make a long run work for you?
So far, my predictions have been wrong. We've got just 40 laps left here to go. We're over halfway. Are the drivers going to start settling down, you think?
It's good to start heating up, Kane. As the race winds down, people will start getting a little more antsy. But
that's what I would think, but
but you never know. I mean, and here goes the pace car back into pit lane. Here we go with another important restart as Justin Bolton and Chad Lawton take us to green. Chad Lawton with a humongous start side by side down on the inside. Thomas Davis tries to take Justin Bolt. We're 3 wide for second place.
Ray Alfala stuck on the outside there. Probably going to have to succumb those 2 positions and try to tuck in there before he loses the way to do it.
Good job, Kane, and he did right there. Ray Alfala looked like he was going to be a big. Oh, Malik Ray is a little loose. He's okay. Here comes the 17 down on the inside trying to make his move. I'm telling you what, Thomas Davis is fast.
We've got a caution.
And let's try to find out real quick what happened there on this caution here, and we'll figure out what happened.
I see the 21 car of Adam Gilliland is awful beat up, so he seems that way before the caution.
Yeah, his back end is gone. Now, Steve Azzini, uh-oh. Let's see, I think something happened with Steve.
Yeah, it's looking like Steve Azzini was involved. Let's do a race recall replay and take a look at Steve Azzini and see what happened.
Yeah, Kane, it was Steve Azzini, and he was right in front of Casey Tucker. And I'm trying to do the slow-mo thing and see if he had contact. I think that 15 car just got loose. I can't tell if the car got into him or not, but if he did, it was rough. But that's a 1-car incident there. Is only the 15 cars involved. Very fortunate for everybody around him to be safe. And that will bring out our 6th caution of the afternoon here at Auto Club Speedway.
Yeah, you know, it looked like he just got loose. There could have been some slight contact there, but if there was, I think Steve was already loose when the contact was made.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, buddy. I really do. How about Brandon Hawk is unfortunately off track, and I don't know if he'll get back out on the track or not. All the other drivers from the previous caution seem to be okay, Kane, and back out on the track and on the lead lap. Unfortunately, Brandon Hawk, who's been battling for the lead all day, is off the track and in the garage area at the moment. Well, as we have our 6th caution of the day, or is it a 7th, Kane? It's one of those two. I think it's pretty sure it's the 6th.
I think it might be the 6th.
I've been counting up as we go. But I'll tell you what, all the guys up front still holding it down up there. I'm going to be interesting to see what these guys decide here on lap 62. Now, I'm trying to think what these guys can do on a full tank, Kane. And if I had to guess, if I were a betting man, I'd say they could go about 40 laps on a full tank. So, now that's fuel-wise. Now, tire-wise and speed, that's another thing.
Yeah, I would bet from what we've seen with whenever the number 3 Jared Crawford pitted to take tires, and we've seen how helpful those were, I would bet that as long as there's more than just a few laps in between cautions, I'll bet we'll still see the drivers pit on cautions.
Yeah. It looks like they're going to be able to get about 45 to 48 laps max out of these fuel tanks today on a full fuel run. So we may see there. I think our leader's going to have to pit again. But if that's the case, I think he'd already done it and would be just planning to stay out. So he may think that he can make it to the end, Kane.
Actually, I think he's already pitted.
No, he did, but it's been 2 cautions ago. It was before it was around lap 50.
Oh, he didn't pit on this caution?
Or he may have. I didn't see him.
Yeah, I think the drivers might have pitted when we were taking a look at the race recall replay. But I'm not certain about that.
I'm about to find out. While you entertain, I'm going to see exactly what, I'm going to do a little research here.
The lights are still on the pace car, so we've got at least one more time around. Ray Afella finds himself in the 4th position. He's had a heck of a battle here today, as he's really been having to fight hard to maintain position up here in the top 5.
Wow. Yeah, I'm scrolling back watching our leader, and he has not pit, and I'm through this caution. I'm checking the last one now, so at least through lap 58 he has not pit. And I'm still scrolling back here.
Drivers are getting lined up 2 by 2 as they're just been given the 1 lap to go.
The last time all cars were on pit road, Kane, was lap 57, so we'll have to remember that. 57 was the last time we all were on pit road. The only cars that have not pit since then is Justin Bolton and Chad Lawton. So we'll keep that in mind as the cars make their way down the backstretch, and we are half a lap green here, guys. We'll be starting the race on lap 65 of 100 to end this bad boy. Things will heat up, and I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm rooting for Mr. Justin Bolton here. I'm telling you, him and Thomas Davis both, I'll be rooting for both of these guys because they have just put on fantastic shows all day, and I've been enjoying every bit of it. Get the popcorn popping, man. This thing's going to be a show.
I'll tell you, the car I'm going to be watching is the number 1 car of Tyler Hudson, as he is back at the back, and he's going to have a lot of work to do to get the number 1 car through the field and back to the front.
And I tell you what, here you go, guys. The pace car is down. And watch Chad Lawton, and he will take us to green. He revs up, and he's going to have Mr. Justin Bolton go right with him. He tucks in behind him. He gets a good jump, but not as good as the normal jump there. And look down on the inside. It's Ray Alfalla in a scary moment with Justin Bolton. With Jordy Lopez Jr. and the 14 of Dylan Rafferty. Those two were mighty close there. And I thought we might have some trouble, but things are fine as Chad Lawton gets out to a big lead.
It's interesting to see the different strategy taken there by Ray Afella at this launch. He definitely wanted to get to the inside quick on that one. He didn't want to be stuck on the outside there and lose those positions this time. So he went to the inside, and he went deep inside.
Yeah, he really did. It paid off for him. He's right there with Justin Bolton in the 3rd position. And he is definitely in a Ray Alfalla threat zone for, I tell you what, Chad Lawton definitely notices that 2 car right there, buddy, and he is trying to get a big lead out early. He is hoping for a big green flag run because Chad Lawton looks like he is set to go green the rest of this way, and I think that he thinks he can finish this thing on what he's got, Kane, and he wants to get this big lead set, and he wants it to stay green.
Yeah, but if it don't stay green, if we get a caution after another 10 laps or so, and all these other guys, yep, he's making his way to the inside there, looking to put the move on Justin Bolton there, and he is side by side.
All right, head towards the back straight. Ray Alfalla down on the lower side here, and he will make the pass for the moment as we keep our eye on these 2 drivers. Justin Bolton, can he make the high side work going into turn 3? He's going to have to use a little draft off of Ray, so Ray will make the pass successfully and up another position for the number 2 machine. And that Ford Fusion is looking ahead to Chad Lawton. He's only 1 position out of the lead. Wow, Ray Alfalla really trying to close this gap on the leader. I tell you what, I thought that Chad Lawton was going to get out to a big lead, but I tell you what, Ray Alfalla and this front group of about 6 drivers says otherwise. Oh, Malik Ray getting put down a lap. What's going on there?
I'm not really sure, but Malik Ray definitely goes down the lap. He is now effectively the lucky dog.
Well, technically, Malik Ray just got. I didn't realize this.
That was the second one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam Gilliland will be the lucky dog.
He is off race pace, and something is definitely not right with the JDR Graphics Chevrolet there. But look at this, man. Ray Alfala, Chad Lawton fixing to put on a show. And in the back, here comes the number 4 car. Down on the inside, it's Brandon Schmidt. And he's making his move around Dylan Rafferty and doing a beautiful job. He's looking ahead to number 17 car, Thomas Davis. How about that, though? How about Brandon Schmidt moving up into the top 5?
Brandon really has had a stellar race here today.
Boy, he has in the Peak Appliance Chevrolet. That 4 car is looking strong. And as we look at some damage on a lot of these cars, that Peak Appliance car looks really clean and strong. The same can be said about 17 Machine, also Justin Bolton's number 7, and also Ray Alfala's number 2. Then we got a new leader. Ray Alfala has pulled ahead of Chad Lawton. And I said it, Ray Alfala has brought his A game, and it is true. He is right there in the lead, guys. This is incredible.
I'm thinking Ray made some pretty good adjustments to the car in his last pits. He was looking like he's having some handling issues there for a while, but the pit stop got some adjustments made on the car, and he is back in form.
Boy, these two right here, they are really racing tough right now. Chad Lawton and Ray Alfala racing for a win here at Fontana. Beautiful job, and I'll tell you what, Chad Lawton is not laying down the number 6 Viper SR Chevrolet right with the Ford Fusion of Ray Alfala in a beautiful race out front for the lead here on lap 72 of 100. Almost 3/4 of the way done with this bad boy, and the Sim Pedals Ford Fusion of Ray Alfala leads the way.
Looks like he's starting to pull away just a little bit from Chad Lawton.
Yeah, he is. Checking a little bit back on our friend old number 3, the Samsung Chevy of Jared Crawford. Remember, he was involved in a wreck earlier, and we were a little worried about him. He has moved back up into the 7th position. Another one that was involved earlier in the race was Tyler Hudson. And I'm looking for Tyler, and he is.
Tyler and Case is kind of working together at the back just to maybe try to gain some space, but I'm thinking both those cars still got some significant damage, and they just can't quite keep pace.
Yeah, the front of the number 1 Peak Ford Fusion is definitely injured around the grill area. And the same can be said about Case Brinksman, the number 22 Machine. And I hate that for Case and for Tyler Hudson. They're both involved with other people's. But yeah, Case Brinksman, the www.db3imaging.com Chevrolet, that bad boy has some pretty severe damage. Now, remembering on Ryan Lowe, we haven't talked about the Fast Track Sim Chevy all day. He's been in the 13th position trying to move up ahead. Patrick Crabtree, and how about Jordan Worth? Jordan Worth started in the back of the field, and when I say the back of the field, I mean 31st. And he has raced his way up to 15th. Good job by the WingQuest Chevy. All right, officially 3/4 of the way done here on lap 75, and this is how they run. Ray Alfala in the Sim Pedals Ford Fusion. He rides up in the lead right now. Second place, Chad Lawton in the ViperSR.com Chevy. Back in third is the Best Western Machine of Justin Bolton. Thomas Davis in the Amp Energy. He rides fourth. Brandon Schmidt in the Alliance Chevy runs in fifth. Back in sixth is Dylan Rafferty with Jared Crawford in seventh. Jordy Lopez Jr. in the Elwood Designs Machine rides in eighth. How about back then ninth, the number 20, Michael Johnson in the Fast Track Sims Chevy, he rides 9th. Rounding out the top 10 is the Outlaw Chevy of Billy Price. Joe Quinn runs in the 11th position with Timu Living in the Sim Room Chevy. He runs in 12th. Ryan Lowe runs back in 13th in his Fast Track Sims with Patrick Crabtree in the Raptor SVT Ford Fusion. Jordan Worth in the Wing Quest Chevy. He runs 15th with Rob Ackley in 16th. Back in 17th is Chris Hall in another Fast Track Sim machine. Jason Jacoby in the Wahoo Motorsports Chevy. He runs in 18th. Matthew Moose in the Motor Components Chevy. He runs in 19th. Brad Davies runs back in the 19th, and then Casey Tucker is in 21st in the Fastenal, or now he moves up into 20. That's Jason Jacoby. Good battle going on right there. Anthony Kernich is in the number 23 Lowe's machine. That is a beat-up race car. Back in 23rd, Tyler Hudson rides in the Peak Ford Fusion. Brandon Cattell is in 24th in the Roofing Contractors Chevrolet. Case Brinksma runs back in the 25th spot with Steven Azzini in his Scrabble Chevy, running 26th. Adam Gilliland in the gmercer.com. He was the pole sitter. He runs in 27th. Malik Ray in the JDR Graphics machine runs in 28th with Brandon Hawk, Dylan Duvall, Peter Bennett, and Josh Berry all off the track and out of today's race. That's how they run. We're 3/4 of the way done, and we got a race for the lead. Here comes Ray Alfalla down on the inside. Beautifully done, and we got a leader again. These two have passed each other time and time again, and they do it here again, but they got some people with it, buddy. How about this? Thomas Davis, Justin Bolton coming up here to race here for the lead too.
Chad Lawton makes his way around Ray Alfalla there with pretty good speed as Ray went down onto the apron, and I think it might have cost him some time.
Boy, it did, because he lost it. Now here comes 17 machine of Thomas Davis in the Amp Energy Chevrolet. He'll pass around the sim pedals, and here comes another car. It's going to be the number 4, Brandon Schmidt. He's going to pass the old Justin Bolton Best Western Chevy there, and a beautiful move by the number 4 car. Oh, and here comes Justin Bolton fighting for his position down on the inside. He wants his spot back. Can he get it? It's going to be tough. He rides the real low line in the 4 car. He tries to make the high side work. Can he make it work? Still side by side. The Best Western machine of Justin Bolton will finally get around the number 4 car of Brandon Schmidt there. Beautiful job by Justin to get back in the 4th. Looking ahead to the 3rd position, Ray Alfalla still tries to get the 2nd spot back from Thomas Davis. Uses the apron to try to get some sort of an advantage. It will not work this time by. Beautiful driving there by the 17 Amp Energy Thomas Davis. While all this is going on, guys, we have Chad Lawton in the Viper SR Chevy kind of gaining a little bit of an advantage out front. Not a real big one, but he's enjoying them battling back there, because the more they do it, the bigger that lead will get. And Kane, you know, we've seen that time and time again, buddy.
Yeah, he's pulled away several times, but number 2 of Ray Alfalla has been able to reel him in. But now we've got the 17 of Thomas Davis in the mix, and Ray Alfalla goes to the inside. Ray Alfalla's going to get his position back.
Yeah, he did. Here comes Justin Bolton back too. It's literally leapfrog here, back and forth, and Justin Bolton now is going to try to get up there and try to fight with Thomas Davis now. Oh, look who's coming to play. Jordy Lopez Jr. and our old buddy Eric Crawford making their way up to 7th and 6th.
Yeah, both these guys, Jared Crawford and Jordy Lopez Jr. have had a hard-fought race today, as they've been giving it all they've got to make their way into the top 10 here, and having a heck of a race here for 6th and 7th position.
Yeah, beautiful green flag run going on right now, and it can run all the way to the checkered flag. We're less than 20 to go here. Fontana, beautiful racing all day long. A lot of cautions. We've had a lot of white knuckle racing, a lot of side-by-side racing. Here it is again, Thomas Davis down on the inside, 2 turns 3 and 4. has the advantage on Ray Alfalla. Wants his position back. Can he move back into the second spot and try to get up there and battle for this lead? He's got Justin Bolton down there behind him. Ray Alfalla all alone up top, and it allows Thomas Davis to pass for the moment. But then Justin Bolton goes up high to help out Ray. Beautiful pass. 17 cars back out in the second spot. And these cars need to try to work together to get back up there with Chad Lawton. Here comes Ray again.
Heck of a battle here for the second spot as Ray Alfalla and the 17 of Thomas Davis have just fought back and forth for the second position.
Yeah, this is a really fun battle to watch for position here. And the battle for second is incredibly close. And Justin Bolton's just watching the whole thing back there in the fourth spot going, hey, if y'all keep doing this, I'm going to be right up there with you.
It's looked like Ray Alfalla has either lost a little bit of something or Thomas Davis has gained a little bit of something, because Thomas Davis has pulled away a little bit from Ray Alfalla, and Ray Alfalla finds himself in trouble from Justin Bolton in the 7 behind him.
Yeah, he's right there with him. Justin Bolton in his Best Western Chevy are trying to get up there, the number 7 machine. Also the number 4, Brandon Schmidt. He's trying to get up there in the Peak Appliance Chevrolet as well. Man, as we kind of looking through the field, checking on some of the guys, Jason Jacoby rides back in the 18th position. Anthony Kernich, we checked on him earlier. He rides in 21st. Casey Tucker, the winner of the Daytona Shootout, he's back in the 20th position. Our pole sitter, Adam Gilliland, he's back in 27th. Tyler Hudson's in 24th. Just some of the guys we normally talk about. Malik Ray, he rides in the 28th spot, of course. So a lot of things going on in it. The lucky dog, potential get dirty lucky dog would be Adam Gilliland if we get another caution, Kane. The way these cars are right now, I don't know if we're going to get one. It won't be long, and we're only 3 laps away from being 10 to go.
That's true, but with this racing as intense as it's been, you would think that we'd be seeing a caution before this race is done.
Yeah, especially the way this race started. It was just definitely not over. Here comes the number 4 machine down. Oh, Justin Bolton contact with all. He's okay, but it slowed him down a lot. And I'm going to check on Justin there. He will succeed the 4th position, fall to 5th. And now Jared Crawford cracks into the top 5 as he makes his way around Justin Bolton. That really hurt the number 7 Best Western Chevy. Man, I tell you what, here comes Jordy Lopez Jr. trying to take advantage of the bump into the wall, but Justin Bolton has regained his speed. And now Jared Crawford, can he get that Samsung Chevy that has been wrecked, Kane, back up to fight for this top 5?
Taking a look through the windshield at Jordy Lopez Jr. Jordy's got a mess on his windshield. He's going to be looking for a caution just so he'll be able to see out his windshield again.
Yeah, that thing's looking pretty rough right there. Jordy's trying to get around that Best Western machine right now to move up into the 6th spot. He goes to the inside of it right now. And if he just had somebody there with him to kind of help draft off of, he actually has a move right now. Let's see if he can make this pass happen as they come out of turn 4 on exit.
Michael Johnson is looking to go with him there in the number 20 car. Gives him a little boost to get him around, and Jordy Lopez Jr. has gained position.
Boy, Brandon Schmidt now trying to make a move on Ray Alfalla there. Ray gets a good jump there out of turn 1 though and through turn 2. And now here it is. Something's wrong with Ray. He has fallen through the pack, Kane. Something is wrong with the number 2 machine of Ray Alfalla. Could it be a blown motor?
I did see some smoke coming out of the turn. Let's do a race recall replay and see what happened to Ray.
Kane, that looks like a blown motor. It really looks like it. I'm trying to get in there and see if I can hear it. Yes, sir. Ray Alfalla, indications are that motor is blown. And what a break as we're 10 laps to go. Ray Alfalo coast into the pits, and tough way for this race to go for that.
You know, you called it whenever we were talking about it last week. You called it and said that the tough thing is going to be on the motors here at California.
It's tough on these motors when you think about they are on these things non-stop. I mean, they are it's accelerator, and we saw him battling with Thomas Davis, and he was battling his heart out, and the problem was the car just couldn't keep up with Ray Alfalo's talent. And I'm telling you what, I hate that for Ray, and Thomas Davis can have a small sigh of relief as he moves up into second. Now the interesting thing is, Kane, we're only 8 laps here to go, and Chad Lawton has got about a 3/10 lead over Thomas Davis. But with Thomas Davis not having to battle in P1 now, and lap traffic starting to kind of come into picture a little bit, will Chad Lawton be able to hold this thing for the end, or will we see Thomas Davis in the AMP Energy Chevrolet get up there and fight for this win?
Well, Thomas Davis is reeling him in. He's reeling him in pretty aggressively. So with 8 laps to go, we might just see a battle for the lead.
Tell you what, Brandon Schmidt's back there in the 3rd position. We look back to 4th, and it is the number 3 Samsung Chevy. This guy just doesn't die down. Jared Crawford, this guy is unbelievable. Been in a wreck today. Here he is fighting again. The other name we talk about a lot lately in the Elwood Designs Ford Fusion, Jordy Lopez Jr. up there. Michael Johnson running in 6th. Justin Bolton in 7th. Dylan Rafferty in 8th. Billy Price 9th. And Timu Livinen in 10th. This is it, folks. Lap 94 of 100. And Lawton leads the way.
Michael Johnson in the Fast Track Sims has had a heck of a race today. You know, we've seen him last season in the V8 Supercars series have an outstanding drive in the V8 Supercars. Now to see him having a great drive here in the NASCAR iRacing series is kind of a pleasure for me to see him doing so well in the series.
Well, not even if you just look at today, Kane, the guy, if you don't take all that away from it as well, don't even count that and talk about it today. Starting 27th, Michael Johnson has fought his way all the way up to 6th place. That right there in itself is an accomplishment. Then you throw in all the other stuff. Wow, good job, Michael. All right, now here comes Chad Lawton coming up on some lap traffic. What will that present as Thomas Davis is really trying to catch up? But I tell you what, Chad really rode away this past lap. That car that they're coming up on is Casey Tucker, winner of the Daytona Shootout, and the Fastenal Fusion should let him right on by, and he will, as it looks like our leader will go down on the inside of him and make the pass with ease. And Thomas Davis is trying his hardest, but here comes the 4 car. Jared Crawford, Brandon Schmidt says, hey man, don't forget about me. I'm in this number 4 car, and he jumped up there with him for a moment and then fell off. Up, Jordy Lopez Jr. coming up through traffic now. He just got around Jared Crawford. Jared just fell back a little bit. What's going on with that Samsung?
Mike Johnson up there in the 4th position.
Yeah, that was awesome. Something happened to Jared Crawford, who was riding in 4th. He fell back 2 spots. Now he's trying to fight for it back. He does get 1 spot back from Jordy Lopez. And can he get 2? He almost got 2 positions back in 1 turn.
Yeah, I have to guess he got loose or something coming out of one of the turns and slid the car a little bit, allowing the 2 guys to get by. And as soon as he got his traction back and got going again, he's able to reclaim his position, or at least one of them. But
2
now,
laps to go here in this race.
Now Jordy Lopez Jr. to the inside, and he's going to reclaim that 4th position back again from Jared Crawford.
Man, incredible driving right now. Here we are, 2 laps to go, about a lap and a half. Chad Lawton, Thomas Davis, Brandon Schmidt, Michael Johnson, Jerry Crawford, Jordy Lopez Jr. is your top 6. All right, here we are, lap 99, and the next time by, the white flag will be waving. You have a 6/10 lead for Thomas Davis, who has got a decent-sized lead. Can Thomas Davis catch up? He's doing everything in his power to catch this leader. Also, we see Jared Crawford in the number 6 machine as he tries to tap into the top 5. Can he get another top 5? Michael Johnson rides in 4th. Can he get up there and sneak into the top 3? He's trying to catch up to the 4. All these and more will be answered in just a moment. The white flag will be waving right now as our leader Chad Lawton makes his way last lap here at Auto Club Speedway. As we head into turn 1 here on the final lap, beautiful drive by Chad Lawton. All he has to do is keep this thing straight. Now he's got to be getting low on fuel. He has not pit since lap 57, and I'm sure he will be fine. He's got a lead where he could be able to save. Thomas Davis pushing his heart out. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it. Going into turn 3 and turn 4, the Viper SR Chevrolet, the number 6, Chad Lawton, is on his way to winning race 1 here in the NASCAR iRacing Series in 2014. Congratulations, Chad Lawton. He wins at Fontana. Thomas Davis will come across in second with Brandon Schmidt in third. Jordy Lopez Jr. and Michael Johnson get fifth. How about that? Jordy Lopez Jr. was able to cross the line in front of Michael. Beautiful top 5 for Michael Johnson. Jared Crawford, after being wrecked, will finish in 6th. Beautiful job by these guys up in the top 7. I'm telling you what, Dylan Rafferty, that car was strong all day long. Same with Justin Bolton, who finished 8th. The Outlaw Chevy of Billy Price will finish 29th. And Joe Quinn will finish in the top 10, a guy we didn't say anything about all day in his Fanatec 27. Good job for Joe Quinn to round out our top 10. Jordan Worth, man, this guy started in 31st place. He finished in 13th. Good day for Jordan Worth. Rob Ackley will finish 14th with Ryan Lowe 15th. Matthew Moose will finish all the way back in 16th, but not bad. Brad Davies will finish in the 17th spot. And Jason Jacoby in the Wahoo Motorsports machine finishes 18th. Anthony Kernich in the Lowe's Chevy will finish in 23rd. Chris Hall will finish in 20th. Brandon Cattell finishes in the 21st spot in the Roofing Contractor Chevy. Tyler Hudson, after his wreck, will finish on the lead lap in the 22nd position. Winner of the Daytona Shootout, the Fast and Off Ford Fusion XC Tucker. Steven Azzini will win in the number 15 machine Scrabble Chevy. He finishes 24th. Case Brinksma in 25th. Adam Gilliland, your pole sitter, went to the 26th spot. After a blown engine in unfortunate events, Ray Alfala, and possibly the fastest car of the day, one of the fastest, definitely, the number 2 Sim Pedals Ford Fusion will finish in 27th. Malik Ray in the JDR Graphics Chevrolet will finish 28th. Brandon Hawk in the number 11 machine will finish 29th, with Dylan Duval in 30th. Peter Bennett's day ended earlier on the first caution as he finishes 31st. 32nd goes to Josh Berry, who unfortunately was caught up in the Peter Bennett wreck. And that's how things go here at Fontana. Another unbelievable week of racing here in the NASCAR iRacing Series, presented here by V8's Online. Kano, what a fantastic race. Fontana put on a really good race for us. Had a lot of cautions earlier, but it ended up being a really good race here for us at the end.
Oh, absolutely. Great race. A lot of cautions, but aside from that, the racing was just so intense. We've had people passing for position, but passing back within half a lap, and that happened a lot. What a great race. All throughout the field, we've seen that.
Man, I tell you what, it's been a really good race throughout the season so far. A really good race, and we started with a really good race at Daytona, went to Phoenix, saw another good race. Las Vegas was outstanding. Last week we went to Bristol, and it just blew our minds with how they raced at Bristol. Here at Fontana, we had more cautions than we did at Bristol, believe it or not, folks. And but it turned out to be an incredible race. Congratulations again to Chad Lawton, who literally owned the racetrack at the entire second half of the race. and a beautiful job by him. Another great day by the number 17 machine, Thomas Davis. Still proud of what he did in the Amp Energy Chevy. Just killer racing for him today. Then we all pack up. A lot of the guys, unfortunately, their day, Josh Berry, ended early, getting caught up in somebody else's stuff. But we head to Martinsville next week, buddy, and we head to the Paperclip and another half mile. Except this time, no banking. Better put you on a pair of $40,000 brakes on your sim rig, because I'm telling you what, we're heading to the biggest braking point in the world as we head to Martinsville, and we're going to literally have to brake 500 times as these guys hit 250 miles or 250 laps around Martinsville. It's going to be insane. Tempers will flare. It's going to be grinding, bumping, turning, and it's just going to be insane. I cannot wait for Martinsville next week, Kane.
Oh, Martinsville is one of my favorite tracks because the intensity there gets so high that the aggravation level can be so high there, because just a little bump can spin you around. It's so flat. So definitely anxious to see Martinsville.
Absolutely. And before we move on to Martinsville next week, I want to bring in somebody that had a good race this here at Fontana this week, Jason Jacoby. And Jason, we watched the Wahoo Motorsports Chevy today, buddy. How you doing?
Doing great, thank you, JD. Yeah, that was a fun race at the end. I got into some trouble early, and I could have avoided it, so that was my fault. But it was cool. I think I learned something for the next time, because I wasn't really in the right mentality starting the race, and I kind of got into a nice little mode there, and that's going to help me if I can carry that into Friday. I think this setup, it's possible to run top 10 with it.
Oh, it's great news to hear, man. It was an interesting race this week. We had a lot of cautions early, and tell us, man, when you're in a long race like you have here in the NASCAR iRacing series, and you're at a track like Fontana, it's the first time we've been here in the NIS series. We have cautions back to back to back to back to back. How do you keep your focus through all that when all that's going on? It's hard to keep up the intensity.
That's right, JD. And I tell you, for me, it worked to my favor today, because I had so much damage from that second caution, that when we got those short intervals of green flag runs, I'm like, oh, darn, because I kept losing time, because my car was so damaged. And once we got all the cautions cycled through, fixed all my damage, and made the car better, so I was able to actually go for it after that. So those first few cautions didn't really affect me too badly. But I know some guys, they get out of their rhythm and stuff. But I kind of like cautions, to be honest with you. It gives you a nice little break, and you get to go for it after that.
A little breather.
Exactly.
Oh, that's great news, Jason. And I tell you what, man, we were rooting for you today, and you did well. And like I said, you finished 18th here, first time at Fontana. You can't be disappointed with the top 20 here. It's a tough track, and I knew we were going to see a lot of aggressive racing, because you can get 4 and 5 wide here easily. And we saw a lot of that earlier especially in the rear of the field. They were really, some of the guys that missed qualifying, I think, were trying to make up some spots early in the race, and that's what kind of caused the early aggression that we saw. Little mishaps, and it was real unfortunate that we saw a lot of guys get involved with a small, tiny wreck between two guys that, it just piled up. But better luck next week. It's going to be some high tempers as we go to Martinsville. It's always fun. It's always one of the best places to go in sim racing. You really got to have your focus next week, Jason.
That's right, JD. I'm going to really try hard to get a good result there. And just thank you guys again for having me on here. And I want to say hey to everyone watching the race. And also, my team, Wahoo Motorsports, if you could check us out at facebook.com/Wahoo Motorsports. Give us a like. We'd like likes, so please help us out. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, buddy. Thank you so much for coming by and having a chat with us. We look forward to seeing you next week, Jason. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Yes, sir. You too, guys.
All right, and that is Jason Jacoby, guys, driver of the Wahoo Motorsports Chevrolet. And he put on a good show tonight, Kane. He battled some adversity out there, he had to battle through some of those wrecks early in the race, man, and did a good job But we thank him for coming by and having a chat with us post-race. And I tell you what, another great week of racing here in the NASCAR iRacing Series. As we just a minute ago talked about, Martinsville next week. You're not going to want to miss it. It'll be on at the same place, time, and location right here on V8's Online. And just click on the NASCAR tab. You can always catch our videos on YouTube as well. But Kane, any more final thoughts before we get out of here this evening?
No, another one down. Another week of exciting bumper-to-bumper racing. God, it was just so intense tonight. Fantastic racing we're really seeing out of this series as we finish up with round 5 of the NASCAR iRacing series already. This thing is really just seems like it's flying by. But next week we go to Martinsville. It's going to be exciting. Another short track, so I'm excited.
I am too. We hit the short track again, then we'll be heading to Texas the week after that. So going to be fun. Got a lot going on here in the next couple of weeks. And I tell you what, guys, look forward to what's coming up next. I'm telling you right now, we should, no promises, but it looks like we will be adding, iRacing will be adding the Toyota Camry to our series before the end of this year. And I'm telling you what, if we have the Yoda on the track by the time we hit Daytona again this summer for the Pepsi 400, I'm going to be so happy. So even though I'm a big Ford guy, I just think that's going to be awesome to see. We'll have all three manufacturers out on the track, and I think that it'll really make for a fun manufacturers battle. And we'll have to start officially counting manufacturer points or something. That'll be really fun. But that's all for tonight, guys. Thanks for coming by and checking us out here. And once again, we want to thank everybody that comes out and watches us week in and week out. Help us promote this great show. We really want to get this show out there for the great drivers that are in the top split here in Sim Racing's best NASCAR iRacing series. We love it to death and hope you guys enjoy it as well.
Over a 6,200 strength of field tonight, JD. That's just unbelievable. This series is just that good. So hopefully as the drivers notice the broadcast and stuff, we'll start to get more drivers in here for post-race comments. So if you watch the broadcast, come in after the race for a comment so that we'd love to hear from you after the race.
That's it, and we'll have to start posting these races on the forums every week. I think we posted last week.
I usually post them every week.
Good deal. So thanks, Kane, for doing that. In the meantime, guys, if you want to hear us again soon, make sure you catch us this Friday evening as we head out for the V8 Supercar Americas Series. And it is always intense in the V8 series. You don't want to miss it. And I'm J.D. Smith, with me tonight, Kane Kraft as always, and we're happy to bring you NASCAR iRacing Series action. Till next week, we'll see you live from Martinsville.